and welcome. This is Ruth and I'm back with another one of Tonic's Cyber Week 2023 die sets, and this is the Blooming Bouquet set, and you can see here that we've got lots of beautiful dies with loads and loads of flowers and foliage and bits and pieces that you could use. And the idea is that these dies, there's 36 of them in fact altogether, and this will make up a beautiful bouquet. And the top then is, well, I would kind of call it like the oasis kind of thing that you put the flowers on top of, and then the box itself is a little gift box. It opens and closes, and then these dies here make a lovely little bow. There are tags, and it says hello beautiful and keep blooming on there, and then these are lovely little dies here which you could probably make a little border with, but they're actually supposed to make the insides of flowers, and you use a little quilling tool for them. And then this is another die that you would use a quilling tool for as well, along with these ones. But there's lots and lots of little pieces, so I'm guessing that if you got this die set, you wouldn't just necessarily keep it for the bouquet, because you would want to know where these are, and you would probably use these time and time again in lots of other things. So it's one of those ones where you would be marking that it's got flowers and foliage on it and putting it aside somewhere very handy anyway, so that you can come back to it time and time again, I would think. You can use this with loads and loads of really colourful things, so you could use loads of different colours of card, or you could even use your alcohol markers and colour them and shade some bits with ink and all the rest of it. There's so many ways of doing this, but I'm going to go and do some die cutting. I just want to say too that I probably will be using this little die set and the little stamp set again that I was using with the memory book that was in a previous launch from Cyber Week. So you'll see those pop up again because I think they work really well with this. And if you haven't seen the rest of the Cyber Week launches, do go back and have a look. In fact, now would be a great time just to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. There's loads and loads of videos there, and you'll probably want to come back again and have a look at how these are put together whenever you actually get your die sets. Speaking of which, there are affiliate links to all of the die sets and everything that I use down in the description below, and I get a little commission of that, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Also, the measurements of this will be down below in the description of the video as well. I know a few people have been asking me measurements to different things lately, and sometimes I put them on screen, but they're actually better, I think, where you can just access them easily. So this will be down in the description of the video below. If you do enjoy it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment too. But I'm going to go and get some dies cut out now, and I'll be straight back. It's an absolutely rotten grey day outside, so I thought I would just pick some really nice bright colours to give the day a little bit of a lift. So you're going to have to bear with that today. I have taken this die then, and I've cut 6 of those. So you're going to need 6 of that big one. And then to decorate that, I have taken these dies, and I'm just going to show you what I've done. And hopefully you'll not mind how bright this is. So I've 6 of these. And then I have cut this out 6 times here in bubblegum pink, and then I have put this and this together with coral, and I'm going to, that's actually really nice on the white, but I'm going to put it on here and glue all those together and then put that on there. And then I've taken the smaller dies that fit in the bottom part of that. I've cut the same thing, so this one in the bubblegum pink and the 2 together in the coral, and those are then going to get glued together and put on down here. So you can see what one of them already looks like, and it's really bright, it's lovely. And then the flowers on top of that are just going to be gorgeous. So once I get all of these glued together, I'll burnish all these little score lines here down the side and the bottom, and then I'll start to assemble it. But first of all, it's a lot easier just to put these on at this stage and get everything glued up. So let's go. If you have a little look on the inside of the packaging that you've got, it will tell you how many of each piece that you need to cut out, and you should have 2 of these smallest hexagons cut out. So there are 2 big ones with the glue tabs on them, and then 2 medium-sized ones here, and then these are the smallest ones. and these are for the base of this. So now we've got all of these burnished and folded across. There's a couple I forgot. Anyhow, what I'm going to do now then is attach each of these little glue tabs to the bottom. I'm going to take one of these first of all, and I'm going to fold that over and glue it onto the underside of one of the small hexagons, and then start attaching the rest of them the whole way around like that. The base of one, and then add the side panel as well on the next one. So once I've got that glued, I can take the next one, the next large panel. I'm going to glue it on here, just like that. And then I'll put glue on this panel and hold that in place when I've got the two of them together. When the glue grabs there, then I can work my way up, putting glue on here and here. I'll put the glue on those now at the moment, but just hold the base one first and then move my way up. And then I can just follow the whole way around with the next ones until I get the full vase, or whatever you want to call it, attached, and that will be all made up then. So just continuing the same way right the way around. So whenever you get it to this stage, and you'll see all the little glue tabs on the bottom there, that's when you take your second hexagon and just glue that over that, and that keeps that all nice and neat. When I look at these hexagons, I can see that I called them small, medium and large, but actually in the instructions it tells you that this is the small and this is the large, and then this one is called the large one with the tabs on it. So I'm going to leave that one aside for the moment, and I'm going to concentrate on this one. I'm going to hold on to one of these, and then you should have 6 of these cut, and these are going to make the little domed part that go inside here. So now I'm just going to give all of these a little curl or a little curve by just like that. It's really just to give a little bit of a mold to it. Now obviously you're going to need to fold all these little glue tabs back, but you would do that after you've done the folding of it back, because it's so much easier. It's very, very difficult to do that once you've that done. And then go ahead and burnish this little base score line as well here. Then you'll make this bit up in the same way as we did the little vase itself there. You will glue this to the underside and then follow with the next one, and once you have that attached, you attach the two panels together by the glue tabs at the sides of them. So it's really just the same thing, only on this shape this time. Once that glue is taken, then you'll take glue on here, here, here and here, and then making sure that's well adhered first of all, just hold those in like so. Hold on to that just for a little minute or two until it's really, really well attached before you move on to the next one, and you're really just going to follow that right round until you have the little dome created. And when you've got the little dome made up like this, you do exactly the same thing as we did on here. Just take this second hexagon and glue it right on over there and cover all those glue tabs up. We're going back to the large tabbed hexagons, and I've got one of them here, and I've laid the large hexagon into the center of it there, and then the smaller one in here. Now I'm not going to tape that down because that one's going to actually be removed. It is just really to show me the placement for this one, and I'm going to set that one in and make sure I have that placed properly with sort of equal distance the whole way around there. Then I can hold that one down, remove that one, and I'll tape this one into position and then put that through the die cutting machine, and that will give me the correct aperture in the center of that. And I'm using this high tack tape, low tack tape this time. This is the Tonic die tape, and it's absolutely perfect for this kind of thing. Sometimes I use some of my older stuff that I've still got some left, but this is the stuff for this. It's the perfect thing to use for here, because if it happens to go on parts where you've already, where you're going to see it at the end of it, it doesn't leave any marks. It's beautifully fine. It's really, really good. So I'll go ahead and cut that out. That has given me this shape with the smaller aperture in the center, and now I'm taking my other die cut and laying the larger die in there, as you can see, and I'm going to tape that down, and that will give me a bigger aperture in this one. And then on this one with the larger aperture, I'm going to cut off all of these glue tabs. Now I forgot to add the little hinge part onto this, and that should have been done before this layer went on top. So I have taken the die that fits this, and I've cut it out in this bubble gum pink, and I'm going to glue it on over the top of that. Now this is 300 GSM smooth white card that I've used, and I just didn't want to have another thicker layer of that on top again, which is why I've gone for this colour. So it matches, it looks lovely, but it's not going to be another very, very thick layer, because this is 216 GSM and this is 300. So now I've got the dome with the hinge on, and this hexagon with the large aperture in it, and then this one with the tabs and the smaller aperture. And what I'm going to do now is glue this tab in underneath here and just attach that there. Now I can go ahead and glue this outer hexagon, making sure not to get any glue on there, of course. I'm going to put glue the whole way around here and add this onto the top of the hexagon with the tabs on. And when the glue's all dried on that, and that has gone firmly into position, I can put glue on all of these tabs here, fold them all down, and then I will just slide this piece right down inside here, and remembering that just keep it nice and neat so that it's level the whole way around. So I'll put glue on all those tabs first and make sure they're all folded down like this, because the last thing you want is to get glue all around the outside of that whenever you're putting this in. So best way to do it is just fold it over like this and add all that glue on first. Moving back to the die set then, I can go ahead and lift out all these floral dies and the leaves and all the rest of it and make a really good mix of colours, and I can go ahead then and glue them all on here. So I'll do some die cutting and layering up and whatnot, and I'll be back. I've been merrily making flowers, and I just thought I'd stop and show you how I've made them, just in case some of you aren't too familiar with this. I'm sure most of you are, but just in case. So I've cut out sort of multi-layers of all sorts of things here. You can see them in there, and I've layered them up, but I've given them just a little bit of dimension, and I've done that with the help of some embossing tools or styluses and some glue. Just let me check this is ready. Yep. And first of all, I flip the flower over. This is a foam mat, this is a stylus, and on the bigger ones just go in from the back of the petals and sort of come into the center. Turn it over, and then what you're going to do is just press down in the center like that, and the more you press, the more dimension you'll get. And then I'll do that with subsequent layers, and you don't need to come in so much with the petals right round because these are smaller. So you can sort of do that kind of motion and then turn it over and go into the center again. Now obviously if you go in with a smaller stylus, you're going to get that even closer. So on the smaller one again here, I still use the bigger one to go around the petals because that just seems easier. And then when I turn it over, I'll go in with that, and then I just go in a little bit more with this, and it means those petals just sit up a little bit more and you get more dimension. And then I'll just use my glue here into the center, down like that, again with this one, in like that. And then I've taken this little one because it's sort of like a sun ray, and I don't need to go into the over on the back of it. I'll just go around like that and then into the center and glue on the back, and then that one can just go right in there. And I think it takes that yellow center, that's buttermilk yellow, and I think it takes that to give the flower a bit of a lift. And as you can see here, I have, this one is all self-coloured apart from the centre of it, and this one I have swapped around a little bit, and the same with these. This one is all self-coloured again, and I'm just going to put some buttermilk crystal drops into the centre of that and set that aside to dry. While those buttermilk crystal drops are wet, you could actually still go ahead and put some glitter, shake glitter over the top and shake it back off again and leave those aside, and that's another lovely look. Now I've got these little ones as well, and let's see, yeah, I've got one here. For this one then, you're going to need one of these. So this is a quilling tool, and just put the end of it through there. Now I'm just going to show you there. You're going to, this is the top side of the die cut, and you're going to follow that right around from the outside into the center. You can do that as loosely as you like or as tightly as you like, but the main aim of the thing is to keep this bottom line in line the whole way around, and it's very, very easy to do. When you get to the end, then it's quite a tight little coil. Slip that off. This is where the glue is going to go, and you can use hot glue in this, but I actually like to use wet glue because it gives you just that little bit of time to look at the flower you've created, let it spring open a little bit, and then hold it. And you can let that spring open even more if you want. I want to hold that there where you can see there's a kind of center to the flower, but you can see in these ones I've left a little gap in the center, and then I've put this long quilled piece in here. So that's from this, and I'll come back in 2 ticks once this is dried and show you how to do that. So there are 4 different centers to the flowers as such, and you use those in the same way as you would use this little quilling part here. So just grab the end of it, and again this time you will just pop it in there, and that's the top side there. So I'm going to turn it round so the good side is on the outside. It doesn't really matter an awful lot, but you're keeping the edge all of the time level at the bottom there. And you can see whenever I bring that right around and I come to the end, you can pop some glue in there and then spring it off. But if you bring it off now, you can let it open just slightly, and that gives you a sort of a wider coil, and there you have it. And you can move these back and spread them out just a little bit, and that would make a lovely center for your flowers as well. Then you can go ahead and just put either some hot glue if you like, or I always use wet glue. Just pop some on there and set that aside, and that will keep that just the way you want it. And I'm setting it over beside my little rose in the meantime. But you can see there, that's one very tightly coiled up, and that's another one there in the shorter one. But you don't have to do the full length. You can see I've actually gone ahead in my little box here. You can see some that I've just cut into sort of thirds or quarters, and you can use that just as well to good effect inside some of your flowers if you just do a little short quill as well. So you don't even need to have the full length of it, and that looks really lovely. Those little pieces then are the ones that I have popped down inside here and given this lovely little center. So I think the rest of those are fairly straightforward. The leaves and whatnot are all just fairly straightforward. That's actually really beautiful there. This one, the center comes out of it, and you could use that. I'm just going to use it as it is with the center out of it, but you could actually go ahead and pop a different color of vein into there, but that would mean you'd have to glue it at the back, and I'm just going to leave it open. So now, first of all, I am going to take this, I was going to add lots and lots of different colours on, but I decided against that. I really just like these colours that I'm using. So we're going to put one of these into the centre here and cover up this hole first of all, and just glue around. I'm actually going to put the glue here to make sure that it has grabbed on, so it's going right round there, and I want plenty on this. Just see where the front opening is, and then you can have it sort of facing that way, but press that down and let that catch, and then you can go ahead after that and place all these others, just remembering that whenever you're going to open this box, you don't want something sort of right down at the edge there. That means this won't open back there. But go ahead and place all the bigger flowers in and add all the little fillers and the leaves in between. I've got lots of the flowers all in there, and you can see I added the little leaves and filler flowers, the smaller ones, in afterwards, and I've still got to put some crystal drops on, but either put the crystal drops on before you put the flowers onto this and let them all dry completely, or else put the flowers on first and then the crystal drops after the glue has dried, and leave it aside, and that way then you don't need a mess. You don't make a mess. And obviously you can use a glue gun to do that. It sort of grabs more quickly, but I prefer not to because I can't be bothered with all the stringy bits of glue afterwards. So either way is good and works. Now you can see around here I have added some ribbon around that, and there is actually a little die that you can cut out, and you just cut this 3 times and wrap them around there, but I thought that ribbon looked lovely and matches really well. And now I want to add the little bow. So these are the 2 dies that you use, and you can use one or other, or as I'm doing here, you can use the 2. So I have just given these a little curl with the bone folder, and then I'm going to put this one on over the top, because you can see there that it kind of, one's bigger than the other, and that really makes the one stand out. So just a little glue on there. I want it to be kind of loosish, not too tightly glued the whole way around, but I need to be sure that it's holding in the center there. And now all I need to do is put some glue in here and fold these tabs in. So I'm going to fold one in first of all, like that. Hold that for a second or two, and then this one just over like that. And that's a pretty little bow. So you can turn that over then once the glue has dried and pop it on onto the front here. So I have not glued the ribbon the whole way around, I just glued it at the front, and then this is loose because sometimes the glue is visible there and you don't really want that. So I've overlapped it at the front because that's the part then that I know is going to get covered by this bow. And then when I put the bow on, I'm going to put a little flower into the center of that, and there it is. It is looking very pretty, and I'm actually really glad that I added that bit on there now, because it just finishes it off. So I can add some of the little tags from this set, or maybe even from the other little die set that I told you about at the start. I'm going to leave that for a minute or two and leave this aside just till all of the flowers dry and are perfectly sitting in place, and then I'll add the crystal drops, and I'll come back to that just to finish it off. That's all finished. I've got the little drops all in and the little flower in here. Everything's finished, and I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. So I thought I'd go ahead and make another one, and I'll just set that aside. And well, this time I went sort of very, very blingy, as you can see. You'll need your sunglasses on for this one, and I've even put glitter card in there, but I thought those flowers were absolutely gorgeous, so I hope you like that one as well. And then this is the little tag from the other little With Love tag and die set, stamp and die set, and little flowers and all sorts of glittery gold stuff going on there. It's different, but I kind of like it, and I liked it along with this one too. So I've got those two, and then I decided to go ahead and show you that you could make a little card from it as well. So this is a 5x7 card, and I've just I wouldn't normally put all that sort of colour together with this heart paper and all of that, but it sort of brought my two samples together here and here, so I tied it all together with that. And just put some of the bigger flowers and some foliage in. And then this is the Hello Beautiful from the little tag in the actual die set, the Blooming Bouquet one, and I just cut it off and popped it up there. And you can see how I just like to balance this a little bit, so I have got some of the gold from up there paper pieced down in here as well. So there you are, all things bright and hopefully beautiful. So there we are. Just another little thing I wanted to mention before I finish. I think you could make this into, well, I actually know you could make this into a little vase or whatever without putting that lid on. And if this isn't sacrilege at all, you could even just use it as a vase to put some faux flowers in, sort of silk flowers or whatever, and so long as there was nothing damp or wet inside that, I think that would look really beautiful. You could use it in Christmas colours and put some Christmas picks and berries and things in, and I think it would look really, really beautiful as well. I also noticed when I turned this upside down, it would make a lovely little vase, whatever you like to call it, this way. Doesn't that look like a little dress as well? The top and well, anyway, so you could make it this way and leave this part open, just fold those tabs down in to keep it strong and nice up at the top, and you could put the flat base in there and it would stand up in this part because that base doesn't come right down to the actual bottom there, but it could stand on this. And I also think that this pattern would just look lovely die cut from the center of a card as well. That would even look nice die cut through there if you wanted to put little lights or something inside. But I think for this sample, I think I actually just really like to have it all closed up because I'm just thinking, what would you like to put inside there? More than likely, in my case, that would have to be chocolates of some description. So I'm all finished now, that's it. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd really love to be able to see sometimes how you've gone ahead and used these ideas, or even if you've just got ideas of your own that I'd love to be able to see as well. I don't always see that, and that would be really, really nice. But anyhow, in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. There's always plenty of new things here, and I'm really glad to see lots of new subscribers coming along too. I'm really, really happy about that, so thank you very, very much. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and take a little minute or two just to leave me a little comment. That's always very heartwarming and very welcome. My affiliate links to everything I've used will be down below in the description as well, and that gets me a little commission, but it doesn't cost you any extra, so I always appreciate everybody who uses those too. Now, I'm off to take some photographs to finish off, and then I will edit my video and you'll see it whenever these are launched. And in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye.